Ah! Hi, can I help you? What? No. This is what I get for trying to be cute and aesthetic. Anyways. Excuse me, you're in my way. I need to put the honey back. I need to put the honey back. So he could, move a little bit so I could do that. You're nosy. Nosy. Oh, you're just gonna hop on my back again to get off? Not even a thank you. Not even a thank you. So difficult to do. Remember, folks, if it looks cute and aesthetic on camera, just think about the chaos going on behind the scenes. Hi everybody, it's Megan on the front door. Here is pulled something there. You ever feel like your own hair brush against your face, but your primal instincts are oh, it's a spider. That's what you've just witnessed me doing. Anyways, this is the sketchbook tour of my first real sketchbook of when I actually started regularly sketching and wanting to get back into art and surpass where I was in high school when I really stopped doing art. Since it's a cold, rainy October day, so I got myself some warm tea. I'm all cozy. I got my sketchbook, so I won't carry on too long since I'm sure you want to get into the sketchbook tour. It's not a great sketchbook, and my skill has come a lot further in many aspects of what I was trying to do here. There's things that I want to get back to. If you want to grab some tea with me, grab some tea, pet your cats. If you want to sketch along, I'm not sketching, I don't know why I said sketch along, but if you want to sketch while you're watching my tour, then come join me. It is in no way a perfect tour, nor a perfect sketchbook. So come see the beginning of my art rediscovery journey. I gotta find a better way to say that, but let's hop into it. Alright, So now if you've got your tea ready, if you want to make tea, if you don't, that's fine. Oh, hold on, I need to move this.
Over here, yes, that makes sense. Move this here so I can actually flip it. Hold on, I didn't think this set up through.
Hold on.
I can move this over here. Move this back over here. And there she is. There's the boy. My little aesthetic shot. There he is.
Alright, so, oh, there he goes again. He said hello, and now he's leaving. No, he's coming back. Oh no, I put all this stuff on my desk in your spot. Oh no.
It's not like you have 5 other spots in this room that you can lay in. Oh no. That one spot that you wanted to lay in right now, it's taken up and there's... all your other spots are free. Oh no. Oh, you're just gonna sit there? Okay, I cleared your spot off if you want to sit there, but I guess if you don't want to, that's okay.
Anyway, so let's actually... Oh my god.
I love you, but you gotta... Oh, now you want to go in your spot. No, don't eat that. Don't eat that. Don't eat that.
Alright, okay, so now, finally, let's get into the sketchbook tour. I started this roughly in 2017, 2018. Oh, hold on, let me turn off my heater. So I started the sketchbook around 2017, 2018. The last time before this sketchbook that I'd like kept a regular sketchbook, I don't remember if I ever finished a sketchbook, was in high school, and I sort of went through a phase of like, I was scared to go into art as a career because I want to have like a stable career and stable like financial security, and I'm gonna do something that actually, oh sorry, hit the tripod. I'm gonna do something that actually makes money. And here I am, a psychology degree and trying to go into art without an art education. Now I'm self-taught. So I got this in 2017, 2018. The sketchbook is a cruddy sketchbook. Paper's crud. I got it at Five Below, which if anyone knows the store, it's famous because everything in there is $5 or below. I think I mostly got it because it was like shiny. Because I'm a crow, I guess. But it was shiny and like a bronzy rose gold sketchbook, and I was like, I want it, and it was obviously $5 or less. So I got it, and I just sort of had it. I did a few doodles in it. I'll point it out, but in about 2020, I wanted to keep a regular sketchbook, and I had some things that I wanted to get out of my head and onto paper, and then I started drawing regularly again. I was like, and then I discovered a lot of art studio vlogs and art YouTubers, and I was like, wait, this is actually possible? This is possible. So this is when I started wanting to do either part-time or full-time an art career. Didn't expect to get fired from my job at the time. That sort of shoot me off into the deep end of it. But here we are. So let me open it up. These are just some random doodles, me attempting to drape some cloth, some flowers, someone doing a yoga pose. Nothing much to see here. Some more doodles. I think we might have been camping. I think I was drawing either our tent or someone else's tent. And just some stuff. Here's me trying out a pose. In the beginning, I wasn't very good at like utilizing page space. Here's another doodle of an attempted pose, a door, a teacup. You can see up here, it's dated December 6, 2017. This is a sketch. We're skipping all the way to September 17th, 2018 on this one. Because this, like a month later, I was reading Vengeful, the sequel to Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and I needed to draw Marcella Morgan Riggins. Spoilers for the book, but basically, girl boss gaslighting, gatekeeping her way through the plot of the book. Is basically how I can sum it up without spoilers. So there she is. There's my attempt at her. I just needed to draw this scene and get it out of my head. And then here's in 2020, December of 2020, when I started doodling again. I just wanted to randomly draw some heads. I think this is when Hi, sweet pea. I think this is when I was rewatching Avatar and watching Legend of Korra for the first time, but also getting into listening to like D&D podcasts and stuff. As you can see, like I said, the paper's not good. It's like ribbon up here. And also at this point, it's old. It's old paper. And then this was some sketches and ideas, also in December 2020, for the first like D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons character idea that I had, that it was like, had like a premise. I haven't played her. I only have played in like one Dungeons and Dragons campaign so far, in my Curse of Strahd campaign that I'm in, and her character is not serious enough for that. The basic premise of her is that
she's a cleric and necromancer human. Her parents are famous necromancers that are known for like giving necromancy a good name in the medical field, so that's why she's like a cleric, because it's essentially like her nursing degree. And then she's now getting into necromancy stuff, and she's always sort of like half prepared. Like she'll wear like good leather boots but they have like a heel, or she'll wear like a sturdy leather jacket but like it's cropped, so like she's just sort of having some wanderlust and wants to adventure like her parents did, but she doesn't yet like get like the full ramifications of what that means. And for anyone who's read the A Person trilogy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I had the idea of having sort of like the bells that the A Person has in that series, so I just sort of drew that bell bandolier, but I didn't feel like drawing actual bells, but I just drew the bandolier. And then here's some more ideation on her parents, who are way too nice for both her and their daughter's own good.
So that's just sort of their faces. And then here's the second D&D character idea I had of a human fighter. Also not serious enough for the Curse of Strahd campaign, so I haven't played her yet either. Even the character I have now, she's not the comedic relief, but she's like one of the comedic relief people. But she is a human fighter, eventually to become battle master. Basically,
she's an older middle-aged woman. Her kids are grown. Her husband was like, I don't love you anymore, I'm divorcing you, but you can, have the house or whatever, like that sort of jerk. That sort of jerk. And her kids are grown and moved out, so she's sort of, like, I don't know what to do. I spent all this time being, the perfect mother, perfect wife, and I'm sitting here all alone. So her friend is like, hey, why don't you come to this fitness class with me? And basically, it is the Dungeons and Dragons sword fighting equivalent of, like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen those boxing classes that aren't, like, actually, like, boxing. It's more like the fitness stuff that goes into it. There's one near me that a boxing gym has. It's also, like, targeted towards, like, women of, this age, and like younger, like mid-20s to like a woman of this age, and it's more like the aerobics techniques of it, or in college I took like a kickboxing aerobics class. We didn't learn to actually kickbox each other, we just sort of did like the movements and stuff like that to sort of like get fit, like a Zumba type vibe. It felt like Zumba, but it was supposed to be like kickboxing aerobic exercises. So that's basically what her friend brings her to, but then she actually falls in love with it and loves sword fighting and wants to learn. She eventually wants to learn like real sword fighting, not just the aerobic exercise fitness part of it. Her kids have no clue. They sort of brush off the fact that their mom has started keeping swords and studying battle strategy. They just sort of write it off as her being silly or whatever, or going through, a phase in her old age. And then she springs it on that she's going adventuring. And there she goes. So that's my idea for her. I just had to draw her out on a page, and then here's an outfit idea I had for her, for a casual outfit out of armor.
I thought it went way too long for explaining her, but she doesn't have a name. I'm bad at naming characters and things and places and people, but I just absolutely love her concept. These are just some warm-up sketches and doodles because I wanted to get back into drawing. When I get back into drawing, and I was looking up like exercises to like get back into, practice and whatnot. So this is a bunch of that. Like I said, this is around the time my Dungeons and Dragons desire and obsession started really coming into play. I had not yet joined the Curse of Strahd campaign yet. I think this happens closer to the end of the sketchbook, I think. This is in May of 2021, so we did skip some time there. There was some time where I started getting back into it, and then I went out of it and then back into it. But I got on sale at Target the Dungeon Master's Manual, the Player's Handbook, and the Monster Manual. So I love cats, so I tried to make a Displacer Beast into sort of like Butch, like very fluffy, but Displacer Beast. And this little caption says, a giant bread bag tie that dropped on the floor that he's about to play with. So yeah, that's that. I was basically copying the pose right from the Monster Manual. It's okay. There's some parts I still sort of like, but it's not great. But it's a good first attempt. And then some cat doodles because I was trying to get better at cats because I realized that I need to get better. And these are a bunch of notes for comic ideas that I'm not going to bother going over. I haven't done them yet, but I might someday, but I'm not going to go over them right now, just because it's a lot, and I have to actually like read it and look it over to make sure it makes sense. I didn't feel like doing that when I was reviewing the sketchbook and like taking notes of what was in there, just so I was prepared, but I will someday. Here's sketches of my cats. There's a sketch of Butch. There's a sketch of Booms. It's a very rough, I mostly erased it because I didn't like it, but there's going to be a sketch of both of them in my big pink chair down there. This is when I knew I wanted to open an Etsy store someday, so trying to come up with names. I didn't go with any of this eventually, but I did think of it being cat related because my first cat was a black cat, so think of names of like, you know, Black Cat Avenue, Black Cat Lane, Cat in a Cozy Bed, a Cat in a Cozy Blanket. I didn't go with any of them, but I was just jotting them down. And then here's another sketch of Boomer, where I blended the pencil in, and there's a little belly, and it's very cute. He's partially a little chunky. He's a little chunky boy, and I love him for it, but also his primordial pouch, which if you don't know what it is, look it up. Many cats have one. But there he is, snoozing, his little paws, back paws stretched out, little pawsies up. This is my first fantasy door illustration. I had gotten some new markers, some like brush pens at Michael's. I realized later on that they're not that great, but they're Sharpie brush pens, and I used some highlighter and gel pens, and I got the brush pen in pink and gray to make this sort of little fantasy door illustration. I'm still really proud of it, like the way I rendered like the stone and stuff is still, I think, really cool. So I do still really like this piece. And then here I was looking at a prompt generator, and I got the Forest Queen. So I was going to draw her on sort of like a throne of like vines and leaves that had like come together to form the shape of a throne. But I knew my skill wasn't there, and I was scared to like go ahead and do it and mess it up. So I just did her pose. And over here is some like outfit ideation on what I wanted her to be dressed in. I went for sort of like tight like leggings and shirt, and then over that is like a sheer sort of tulle, like more like baggy pants and like baggy top, which I thought would be cool. Here's another fantasy door illustration that I never fully finished. I never fully went through with it. I think I tried to paint it, but it did not work out well. I can't remember if I tried to paint this one or just like another fantasy door concept. I was really obsessed with fantasy doors like at this time. Just sort of like very like magical looking entryways to, I don't know, someplace mystical in the same world, a different world, something good, something bad, who knows. And I have a little description over here that I'm not going to read because I might use this again someday. I might come back to fantasy doors once I get better at architecture. And then here I wanted to try some typography. I did date it. It's June 5th, 2021. This quote is from Brennan Lee Mulligan. In some ways, lies can be more true than the truth if you think about it so hard that you become wrong. He said this jokingly in an adventuring party, which is like the after talk show for Mice and Murder. I thought it was funny, so I did that. You can tell I sort of like gave up at the end because I had a stencil for this, and then I'm sorry, Brennan, I didn't even try on your name. I ran out of steam. And then here is, my mom is a werebear, threatening someone with a frying pan to get out of her kitchen, because she loves bears and doesn't like people in her kitchen. And here's Butch. And there he goes. And then here is some perspective studies I did after watching the 2 videos, Drawing with Waffles, did back in 2021, and on June 2021. I don't know if they've done more since. I haven't actually watched them in a while. But here's my perspective studies of doing the 2, and then I sort of just like taped out different sections and then did a scene based on the perspective lines in there. So I weirdly actually went from like right to left. So like if you look right to left, you can like see my progression. I do really like this one, but that might just be because I really like pink. And then this is some like a medieval flourish sort of study. I found a tutorial on how to do that on like Inkathish Leaves. I think I pronounced that right. I don't think I pronounced that right actually. Hello. Can you move? Scoochie, scoochie. Scoochie, scoochie, please. You gonna scoochie? Okay, fine. But yeah, I found a tutorial on how to do like the setup to get like the precise like measurements of it. Then I had some craft paint in pink, so I painted over it. And then later I'll just do it with him here. I did go in and over some of the highlights put glue and glitter just cause why not? I just wanted to. It'll be cute and fun. So I might do more with this. Not like on its own, but like I should put glitter on medieval flourishes on more stuff, I think. And then here's a bunch of random doodles. Here's around the time I was really started watching art YouTubers. I tried another Displacer Beast, like more like House Cat, but I did forget on both the 6th limb, so that's my bad. Just some tea, honey jar, hi, my name is, and in the name tag part, there's a picture of a dumpster. I tried to draw Apple Cheeks, aka Tiffany, on YouTube because I was watching her video and I wanted to try and draw a face. Look at it, turned out pretty okay. At the time when I was still like getting back into the swing of drawing. And then here's some more doodles. I tried to draw just another Ada, who also has a YouTube channel because I started watching her videos. I got some fake leaves as a reference at Michael's, and I was drawing them, and then I realized too late that when you buy it in the store, the tag doesn't really say what kind of like flower or plant it's supposed to be, so I don't know what the actual plant is, I'm sorry. And then I didn't really know what to do. I was not feeling inspired, and the blank page was intimidating to me, so I broke out a Sharpie, the random doodle and scribble, and then doodles in the space. Did a big old face with that classic trick of covering the other eye with the hair that worked very well for me in high school. Some random flowers, a leaf, and just little guys in pants. And then still on the Sharpie. Let me sleep. I think I have like a shirt like this. I think I was drawing that. Relax, rewind. Some more cats. I attempted a tree. This, like I said, I wanted to do Etsy, and I knew I wanted eventually to get my skill level up to eventually do stickers. So this is like ideating potential like sticker sheet ideas. But I'll save that for later. More doodles, feeling uninspired, which, you know, is why I broke out the Sharpie. More doodles, feeling inspired again. This is me drawing B. Dave Walters because I was watching Pirates of Leviathan. Random girl, random doodles, noses, a cat with sparkles, a rose. More random doodles. Accidentally drew Crazy Karen up top. Drew some flowers and bread and ice cream and random poses, and this is from June of 2021. Back then, this was like my favorite. I was like, this is amazing. I did so good, and I can tell how much I've come by looking at it. I'm like, oh god. It's not like bad, but I know I can do like so much better like a year later. And then I wasn't feeling good in July 2021. But feeling bleh, just got Posca markers too. Then I drew the boys from Magic and Misfits. I never drew the girls, or the, Dream, and I can't remember the character's name. But I never drew the other two. So one of the characters came out as non-binary. So I don't want to say girls, but I didn't draw the other two characters. I just drew Evan Kelp and Whitney Jammer. Or Evan, please tell me that's a normal owl thing. Kelp. And Whitney, yo, look at that big ass bird, Jammer. And then more doodles. I was watching a video on Skillshare about taking care of plants and stuff. And I was drawing some of the plants, and I was trying to draw the pattern on the teacher's shirts and some gloves and notes. And then I was doing just like little like doodle motifs, and I sort of circled the ones that I really liked here. I might come back and revisit this and try to refine some and revisit some, because I do need like transition stuff for my YouTube and whatnot. So, and then I said to myself, this is me coming up with an OC idea, just like a very buff, half human, half like fae or pixie man who seems like very tough. And it's not that he's a softie on the inside, it's that on the inside he is baby. He is my baby boy baby of an OC. He is my sweet, sweet child. He's just a sweet boy. So I love him. I was doing another character generator. And I think that both Drawfee and Drawing with Waffles had used it, and I wanted to see what I got. So I got Gothic Volcano. So I was sort of ideating that. So I came up with sort of like a fire and rock genasi type, sort of like a goth volcano girl, like her hair flows like lava.
Her skin looks like volcanic rock. And then I started like some designs and like ideation of what she'd wear. So I had the idea like bottom shoes could color shift as she moved and leave slightly like burnt fingerprints. She has like baby owl earrings that are like sort of like burnt just from proximity to her hair.
And then some washi tape I had that fit the theme. Random doodles that I decided to be fancy and tape off of washi tape. I tried to draw my OC again, didn't get the facial shape right, some quotes, and whatnot. More ideation on the OC who I have by now named Andres. He doesn't have a last name yet. Like I said, I'm very bad. I'm so very bad at naming people, places, and things. Like, I've had this OC since when? Okay. So July 11th, 2021, I just named him last month. Like, I've had the idea of him for a year. I've just named him a month or two ago. That's how bad I am. And I still don't have a last name for him. I just settled on a first name. And then, speaking of boys, here's some bad attempts at drawing the anatomy of a cat. That, I'm pretty sure, was actually the boy that just walked on the sketchbook saying food, which I think is what he's trying to say right now. But it's not time yet, so no. And some doodles. Yes, thank you. Thank you for little head rubs. Very cute. Yes, you're very cute, but it's not time yet. It's not that time yet, baby. I know. Don't lay on my sketchbook, please. Anyways, so there's a little doodle of a plant. Come here.
No!
Oh, come here.
Oh!
Anyways, at the time I was started reading some like Irish folklore short stories and poems, just because my nana was actually like a first generation Irish American woman. After she passed away, I sort of wanted, I don't know, when she passed away, like I sort of started to like feel bad that like I never really connected with like the Irish culture that I saw. But I knew that I loved like fantasy and folklore and stuff like that, so I wanted to read some Irish folktales to, I don't know, sort of try and bridge that gap. So here's some fairies and a rave. This says, "Don't interrupt the good people's rave." Because fairies get very pissed if you accidentally walk in on their party. Like really pissed. Like to the point of petty violence at best. So, I might redo this someday, because I do really like this. Like, they're sort of like dressed, like, it's very small, so I couldn't put in much detail, but they're just like frat bros. I think it's very cute, so I might redo that someday. Also, if you noticed that the angle just changed No, it didn't. Just kidding. My SD card was full, and I just spent the past 10 minutes panicking, looking for my other SD cards, and I could not find them because they were in the mess that I moved off my desk so I could film this. But I found it, and here we are, but I need a tea break. Some nice stir in action. Living life on the edge right over my sketchbook. Oh, that's so good on this cold, rainy day. Alright, so these flowers, just had fun one night, being cozy, doing this. Some doodles. I have them up on my Instagram if you want to check them out. This, I got in gold leaf glue. I don't remember why I got gold leaf, and I've used it since, but like I did not get this for like a project I had to do. I don't remember why I got it, but this is me just doing some experimenting with it. I attempted a self-portrait. These, and these were done with watercolor markers, which are probably not great for this paper. But that's why the colors are suddenly so vibrant. And then this does more watercolor markers. This is actually a sticker that I printed and cut myself. This is one of the ones that I might get like actually like ordered like professionally to be made to like a vinyl durable sticker instead of just like a paper sticker like this. But I was really proud of myself, so I like stuck it in there and drew a border around it. This day I walked to the park, and in the park there's a path into the woods, and I found this little spot by a waterfall, and I just chilled for a few hours and just doodled and chilled, and it was very nice. And then these were made and inspired, especially this and this, by tattoo artists that I follow on Instagram. I had done in my bullet journal when I was doing like a daily like border, I had done a study of specifically like people and their work just to go sort of get a feel for it, and then this is me sort of going based off of that of like what I liked, what I like to do, what I sort of mixing and matching what I liked into my own thing. And then this, I sort of created this border, and then I was gonna make it into a digital piece. I've tried it like several times, but I think I just have to like redo the line art. But the concept I had in mind is still very good, I think. So maybe I'll come back to that someday. And then here is where I found tutorials on some Celtic knots, because I was also looking into not only Irish folklore, but also like Irish folk art and traditional art as well. So I found some Celtic knots tutorials. So the first ones I found were the triquetra with a circle, and then the Celtic love knot, because there's two little hearts over here. And then I was just doing a few of them just to like practice. I have some cat doodles, some very terrifying portraits of my cats. I made them look a little scary. Here is a posy, and then more posies of my cat. He was laying there stretched out. He had his little claws out, but he was kneading. And then I was either watching a sketchbook tour of Puffing Muffin's sketchbook tour, and I liked how they drew their cats, so I sort of tried my cats in their style just to see how it looked, and that sort of helped me inform like future attempts at drawing my cats, because I tried this first and it was bad, and I was like, wow, I'm not a fan. And then I like these sort of like cartoony versions of them much better. And then I tried to do sort of doodle of, based on those tattoo illustrations of sort of like the sun chilling at a party. And then again, based on that, the moon, reading, a book in a library. I couldn't really get like the position of it right, not just like with the body and proportions, but also like the moon and like where it was sort of in the circle. So I sort of gave up. And then I was trying to sort of like figure out like how to make the like shape, like still make it in a circle, but if I'm doing black and white line art, how to like make it obviously the moon versus the sun. and sort of that motif. So this is my ideation there. These are some thumbnail sketches for a later painting that I did because I just got watercolors. This is more ideation of a full piece. I was going to do a digital piece that I never finished. And then some more doodles. A doodle for this was going to be part of the digital piece. I tried to draw a hard one Surefoot from NADPOD and it did not work out. So we're going to move on. More doodles. That is Marceline the Vampire Queen and Princess Bubblegum. Some more suns and moons. Some stamp ideas with like cute doors. Because by this time I had decided on the name Calm the Front Door. And then I was thinking of sort of like delivery stamps. So yeah, this was me ideating that. More sun and moon doodles. These were rough sketches for bigger projects that I was going to do punch needle projects that I never did as punch needle projects. But I did remake the files that I had for them into stickers. My skill has improved since I made them into stickers, so I revisited the moon one, and then I have to redo the sun one. So once I get those as stickers, I might include them in the shop opening, which I don't yet have a date for yet. And then the sun always shines, whether we see it or not. I saw it as a quote, and it was like meant to be inspiring, but I was also like, that's sort of threatening in a way. But I just wanted to write it for whatever reason. So I was watching Drawfee's Draw Class. It's for patrons only, and I'm not a Patreon. But after a month, they released the stream free to the public, so like everyone else can enjoy it too. Just their Patreons are able to see it like live and ask questions live. So I was watching the stream recording of Karina teaching anatomy and sort of how like the torso is sort of like a bean and how it curves and how like the legs sort of like linking into each other and whatnot. So it was a very good tutorial. I have to rewatch it again because I think it was good for like my posing one at the time, but I think there are some like finer details that I could like refine. And I know that they eventually did a part 2, so I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. But a good tip is that the body has opposing curves. That has been very important in my work from then on. Thank you, goodbye. And then here's some more notes from that. They went over like feet and abs. When it comes to the body, every shape is a tube. Quote from Karina. So that was very helpful. These are more doodles of my cats. I finally doodled their little faces real cute. And then I got a wax stamp, so I sort of stamped it in there. Speaking of, there he is. The boy himself has graced us with his presence. Here's me attempting some figure drawing. I would not have called it figure drawing at the time, but now that I've actually started actually figure drawing, I know this is technically a figure drawing. So I tried this, and then I sort of it's from Graffiti Studio. It was in one of their free packs on their ArtStation shop. I sort of drew it and refined it as best as my skill at the time would allow, and then I did sort of come back to it and sort of put what I need to improve on looking at this. Some of those things I could still work on, but I'm slowly improving. I can't improve on all of that at once. Can you scoochy? And these are some skulls because this is getting into October of last year, 2021. I especially like this skull right here. I tried to make some shrinky dink earrings out of it, but I put on too much acrylic paint and it bubbled up and was gross, so it didn't work out, but I might try again this year. We'll see. But yeah, that skull I still really like. But just doing a bunch of skulls. For some reason, I don't think I looked up reference of skulls. I just sort of went off and did whatever. And then random doodles, just some notes of September goals. Or maybe this is August. Yeah, this might have been August or early September. So this is over a year ago. September goals. I practiced drawing a knife because I wanted to get better at drawing and ideating weaponry. So I can't remember if I was looking at a reference of this or not, but I do still like it. Another Celtic love knot. This is more of my goth volcano girl, some more ideation on her, some sort of like
a logo, like motif design of like, so because I wanted to, like, what would be a cool thing to put on like a band-tee for her, like a ripped up band-tee for her. So that was what I came up with. She is in sort of like a goth prep outfit, throwing everyone the middle finger because she's badass.
I think this is like the first time that I can like really remember like looking up reference and like studying, like doing like a material study of something. So I was looking at pictures of lava to see sort of, because I knew like the general colors of it, but I just needed to see like the order of the colors, how it flowed. I knew it was cooler near the rock because obviously lava has to cool down to turn into rock. But I was like, is the yellow there? Is the red there? Turns out the red's there. So I did that in here and her hair. And then I drew this, and this. And then, okay, so I have a post-it covering it. You might be able to see the shape of it already to know why I covered it, but I did not intend to draw that. Okay, I did this, and this. Put the washi tape here, and then I was like, I have all this space left over. Why don't I do like a material study, like a true like material study of her hair and have that just be that, to show off what I have learned and to like really let it sink in, to like do it in bigger detail rather than just these like little chunks of her hair, you know? And unfortunately, when I didn't realize till I'd finish it, because I did the material study, I did this in color pencil, right? And then once I was done, because I sort of wanted to be like, it was sort of like the lava was flowing like from a set point to the rock was flowing from that. So I was like, well, there's gonna be like gaps between the rock where the lava flows like sort of like under it. And then when I was done, I was like, yeah, let's outline it in black Posca marker. For some reason, my camera stopped itself. Like, the time went into the red, and I know the SD card is nowhere near full, so I don't know what's up with my camera settings that it stopped. But it stopped me right as I was about to flip it up, so my camera does not want you to see, so I will show you real quickly. But it came out to this unfortunate shape. I know it looks like a dingus, and I'm sorry, YouTube, okay? I'm sorry, potential advertisers. I'm sorry, YouTube. I did not intend it to look that way. I didn't realize until I finished and I did the outline in the Posca marker what it looked like, and by then it was too late. It was already done. The whole page was, and I was so proud of this page. I was like so excited to post it to Instagram because I'd like posted like reels when my cat was laying here and he was like playing with a colored pencil and it showed a preview of this. I was very excited to put it on Instagram, and then this happened, and then I was like, now I can't do it. I can't put it to Instagram. It'll get taken down immediately. So I never did, but I'm still like very proud of this page and very proud of myself for doing the study and like getting down like the material study of lava rock and lava flowing. And even when I come back to the character, I do change her design, but I do keep the hair, and even like in future drawing, like the technique like still holds up. So I'm still very proud of myself just for like the hair, and like this is the first time in a while that I did actual like colored pencil shading and drawing. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm just sad this turned out into such an unfortunate shape, so I'll stop showing it. Well, I'll show it one more time just so you can appreciate. Don't look at the shape, just appreciate how the material is rendered, okay? Please. Okay, thank you. Here's another page. I tried sword timber for one day, and the prompt for day 8 was anchor. So I thought of a mermaid where the edge of the anchor is sharpened, where you can see sort of here, but instead of having like that set like handle or like
what's it called, like the hilt of the sword and the handle, it's pulled by like the chains of the anchor so that it can have like a swing, have like a good like swinging motion, sort of like how an axe would, like underwater, to sort of like thinking about like how things move underwater and the physics of water. And I'm like, yeah, if she like whips that around with the chain, that would be like a really good, it would move like she's swinging an axe underwater. So she's like coming at someone, gaining speed.
I was proud of myself for trying the idea, and I still really like this design, if you couldn't tell by my thorough explanation of how the physics of it would probably work. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to it someday. And then I just got a bunch of new Posca markers. So the ones I had, I jumbled up in a bag, and I picked out random colors, and I picked out brown, blue, purple, and pink. And then this is when I realized that I had picked out the By Pride colors and brown. I think I also picked out yellow, or I added yellow later, and then I added black and white just as neutrals. And I just did little like cute sayings. So yeah, I was just trying to do a limited palette, and not a huge fan of the brown, but it was a fun exercise. And then here's a coloring page from Archer and Olive that I did, and I just put in there the little like wax seal looking sticker that they put on their vellum envelopes, because I used to, for a few months, or a few like quarters, because it's sent out quarterly, I subscribed to their box. And then this is ideation for a painting that turned into something else, and then I did not execute it well. So if I am feeling secure in myself when I edit this, I might show a shot of it, but I might not. And then this is Ostentatio Wallace from the Seven, when she says to the statue with the soul of the famous cleric of her religion, where she's like, "You die, Amata, in a saint," and he doesn't even bother to say hi. She's very much an inspiration for my D&D character, who, I mean, officially she's from Waterdeep, basically she's a New Yorker. And then I did Peachtober. I only did it for a few days, but this is the first day tulip. And when I was sort of Googling tulips, because I'm not very familiar with the flower, I found that purple tulips were traditionally a sign of royalty, so I wanted to draw some sort of like old-timey, medieval, royal tulip. And I still like how it came out. It came out very nice. Still very proud of this one too. And then some random doodles. I wasn't going to draw this night, but I was watching Over the Garden Wall, and I went out to throw something in the trash can, and a frog jumped in front of me, which I never really like see frogs around my house or in my neighborhood. So I was like startled. It was dark, and I just saw something like move on the ground, and I was like, ah! And then I looked, and it was just like a little frog, a little confused frog hopping along, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh buddy! And then I needed to draw the frog, and I was watching Over the Garden Wall. So I drew Enoch, I think their name is. I don't remember their name, but their quote, "You'll join us eventually," that they all do, has stuck with me, and it changed me as a person. And I was like, that's scarier than like the beast of this. Like, these kids are like scared of, which I tried to draw here, where I did like a black patch of marker and then try to go in with a white gel pen, but it just looks like an evil, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, especially in the traditional pronunciation, but Xolotl. But I tried to draw the beast there. Like, this is scary to like the kids. This is scary to me as an adult. And then my cats and a mushroom. And then here's some ideation for Peachtober. Here's a sketch for Peachtober that I ended up finishing digitally. So I'll show that on the screen. This is just a bunch of ideas. I sort of gave up like less than a weekend. Partially because I worked on like a huge digital file that combined 2 days in one, and then when I went to go work on it again the next day, it did not save properly, and I lost all my progress, and that's when I gave up. And this is another sketch for Peachtober. I don't like as much how this one turned out, but I like that I tried. These are scribbles, doodles, notes for Chicory.
Because there was a puzzle where you had to like remember like directions for something, but I have ADHD and I cannot remember verbal directions, so I had to write it down. And then there are like some little like puzzles where you had to like put in like paint and like certain things. Again, I have ADHD, and like you had to like go from like point A where the clue was, and like go all the way to like a new screen, and then 2 screens over you to like remember it. And I'm bad at that, so I wrote it down in the sketchbook.
And then I got acrylic paint here, a basic cruddy little Michael's brand set of acrylic paint that I still have. But I painted my hand. I just changed my nail color at the time because my nail color was like a skin tone, and I was like, that blends in too much. So I made the nails teal, but that was very fun. I still really like this hand, actually. I don't know why. It's just a very enjoyable hand. And I tried using just like the primaries, even though it came with a bunch of colors in the set, just because I wanted to experiment with mixing colors. And I just used the page as a palette, so it looks really cool. And then this is my comic idea for last year's Peachtober Proms Rise and Fall. It was sort of like this dandelion floating up. It like I started doodling here and ran out of space, so I had to go over here. So it's you will rise and you will fall, but most importantly you'll grow. So it's sort of like the dandelion seed detaching from the full dandelion, floating up in the air, and then coming back down, landing on the ground, and then it grows roots so that it can turn into a full dandelion. I worked on a very cute comic, digitally on it, and I lost it, so I gave up. But I might get over my pain someday and do it again. And these are just little sayings. I should do this more often, because these are very cute. This is York from Jawtectives, when they did the character design and realized that he became a model between season 1 and season 2. I was like, I gotta draw him wearing some low-key slutty model clothes. So here he is. Here's our favorite little Prince of the Orcish lands. And then, if anyone remembers the cartoon Generator X, I watched it in middle school, high school, and I still think about it from time to time. Like, I cannot escape the shows I was obsessed with in middle school, high school. Like, I cannot. I still think about them regularly. It's wild. I cannot let go. And this is an AU I had where instead of like Rex being the kid and then Six, White, and Dr. Holiday being the adults, if it was like Rex was the adult and Six, White, and Holiday were like the teenagers that Rex had to look after. So I dedicate a page to each. This is Six. This is Dr. Holiday. She is the exhausted, unpaid intern. And this is White, still a bubble boy. And then this is a comic that maybe someday I'll redo, but not right now. And then this is ideation for, I've gotten some stuff to block print, so I was ideating some stuff to do for that. Excuse me. Come here.
Goodbye.
And I went and refined this one digitally so I could get like a good, like clean line art for it to trace onto the block. And then here is the finished product. Oh, it would help if I tilted it this way. This one's I love you and grow at your pace. And then here it is block printed and then embellished with some metallic pens that I have that I thought would look cute. And then here's some random doodles, some more little guys, a bird, more of the Generator Rex age swap AU, where Dr. Holiday is saying this is my boyfriend Six and his boyfriend White. All three of them together. My camera is dying and I just changed the battery. What is happening? Anyways, this is the D&D character for my Curse of Strahd campaign. This is my first spread, my first sketches of her, my girl, Panorman Raventree, Paladin of Yandala. She's a city girl from Waterdeep, New York City. I'm not gonna say much because we're like a year into playing. She still has not like revealed her backstory. So I'm not gonna say it here because if any of my party, my D&D crew actually watch my videos, I'm not gonna spoil it here. You get to learn it in real time with everyone else. But here she is. And my camera died. And I just changed the battery before filming this. So why did it die? I don't know, but I'm a little concerned. Anyways, I'm just gonna hold my tea. But this is her saying, this is when our attitude first came out, and that's when I really got like comfortable like
RPing or like role playing like within the game and not just like fighting and like figuring out my character sheet and abilities and whatnot. So basically, a possessed evil woman. She said something along the lines of like, I'm confident you're following the wrong religion or something like that. And my girl Panaman said, and I'm pretty confident I'm gonna spit on your effing corpse in response. And here she is. I didn't finish this. But here she is. Saving a baby.
And then this is my first sketch of one of my party members, because she sent me references first of Erilyn. And it looks good at this angle because I like drew it while it was on my lap at this angle, and then when I went to like flip it and actually like look at it like straight on, I was like, oh no, I messed up the proportions so bad. And then this doesn't look like anything.
But when we first went into the horror house, again, spoilers for Christmas Draw, both of our characters carved bitch into the door in our own languages because she knows Primordial, my character is Halfling, and they both know Common. Oh yeah, she's also Halfling. She's tiny and angry all at once.
Ideation for some weapon ideas. Here, the Inviso Dagger, Spooky Sword, Star Spear, King Midas's Knuckle Busters, which say rich bitch but without the T so it matches. And then Haunted Hammer. King Midas's Knuckle Busters is actually really funny. I obviously drew it because I thought it was funny in the moment, but thinking about it, it's still so funny to me. Anyways, here's some more attempts at figure drawing. I did a bit of a better job this time. I did 2 attempts, and then I sort of tried to like at the end, because I was still having issues with like the hands and whatnot. I tried to sort of like map out where how hand hold things. And then I needed to practice hands, so I went to Line of Action and I did some hand references. And some I did multiples of each one. Like this is the first attempt, this is the second, first attempt second, first attempt second, first attempt second. This one just had 1 attempt, I didn't try it again. And then I finished it October 16th, 2021. So we're almost a year after we finished the sketchbook. So I have a couple more sketchbooks that I finished since then that I still have to do the tour for. This is just the first one. And then these are my goals for my next sketchbook: to do more figure drawings, more mixed materials, some ink drawing, pen sketching. It's gonna be practicing faces, perspective, architecture, outside scenes, doing some fan art, utilizing space better, and then actually like experimenting with paint more. So the next sketchbook I got was like my first like good quality, like artist quality sketchbook, I think, that I'd gotten ever, because usually I just got like a cheap Michael's sketchbook, like that, you know, like at best like that Strathmore 100 series, which I don't have any from when I was in high school. I don't remember what I did with them, but that was a sketchbook. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching my sketchbook tour. So that was my sketchbook tour. Again, if you stuck around, I thank you for staying and watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're someone that feels a lot of pressure from how good a lot of artist sketchbooks are, I hope for some that this alleviated some pressure. Because there were some things that were there, like there's some good stuff in there, right? I mean, you saw it. If you're here, you agree there's some good stuff, but there's also not good stuff and bad stuff. Real bad stuff. And unfortunately, when I didn't realize like unfortunate shade, I know it looks like a dingus, and I'm sorry. Both in terms of YouTube's terms of service and advertiser guidelines, and also in terms of art. So yeah, that's my sketchbook. I thank you for staying and watching. If you want to see my next 2 sketchbook tours, which I have to film, stay tuned, subscribe. Please like this video, comment, share. That helps me out a lot in, you know, YouTube Algorithm rhythm on YouTube. Yeah, let me know what you thought. If there's anything that you liked, you hated, you loved, you want me to revisit, don't be afraid to comment. If you also want to comment on my attempts at making my camera shots cute and aesthetic and how that turned out earlier.
They ask you
So I hope to see you all soon. I have 2 more to film, and I don't know how to end this. Oh, and follow me on Instagram. I call them the front door. And you can see some of those posted. Thank you for coming, and I hope to see you soon, and love you, and goodbye!